Let's get back to it. Oh shit, where is it go? Where'd it go? Come back. So, I had taken the time to kind of make some, I guess, plans. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be going through with all of them or any of them. Alright, all of them is probably the more accurate reference of uncertainty. I'm definitely going to be doing the tile floor. That's happening for sure. Definitely going to be turning this door into a locked door. Going to try and add some like accents to these walls to give them more character beyond just plain old brick. I feel like this is slightly more detailed over here, even though not much is happening. It's mostly because of shit like this, right? That shit's, you know. So we gotta add some things. Also going to be adding the maze and the background here on the bottom as well. I might just start with that because that's really easy, you know, that's what it's gonna look like. It's super easy to take care of. Plus it'll give me an opportunity to try and figure out if I'm blending it in with this blur of colors or not. Speaking of blurs of colors, I have designated a handful of locations here, here, and here. I think those are the only ones. Yeah, them's the ones. I've designated these locations to kind of, you know, do shit like that too, more or less. Really fucking like try and melt them a little bit. Once that's taken care of, I got some possible railings, some pillars that I might include, some stones. I might not do these stones, honestly. I feel like, yeah, these are dumb. Get rid of these. These are unnecessary. Those can stay. I'm alright with those two. But once all this area is sorted out, then I can start working on the area that I think I'm going to be putting over top of this for the most part. I think let me change something up here. I want to try and keep as much of that thing visible as is possible. Or you know what, maybe we can like go around it. You know? Really cup the ball. You know what I mean? So that's more or less the plan here, or the plans. Everything over here in this red outline and this red boundary is going to be more of this. Everything in the yellow boundary is going to start getting fucked up. And by fucked up, I mean we're going to put some artifacts on that bitch. Really, really digging into like the creation of artifacts. Really digging into, I mean, look at these artifacts. They look so fucking cool. Some of them got their own little patterns. It's neat. This is like the digital equivalent of what I, here, let me pull something up. Let me pull something up. Let me tell you something. Let me pull something up here. Let me see if I can find like a really good example. Because not all of these paintings that I have got what I'm looking for here. This one does not, as far as I can tell. No, not this one. Not that. Actually, this one might. No, it doesn't. Never mind. That one doesn't. That one might, but I'm not looking. Oh man, there's a classic right there. But not what I'm looking for. I feel like this one should absolutely fucking have a moment. Yeah, it does at the very bottom. Let me check this other one real quick before I... Oh yeah, this one's also got it. Okay, here, check this out. Check this out. These two. Right, I show this one a lot. This is a painting I show everybody. I want to see if there's a little... Yeah, there's a little bit of this, like... this texture here that comes from just having like wet on wet watercolor and gouache, especially when it's like different brands. I mean, it doesn't have to be a different brand. It can be the same brand and it'll still do this for the most part because the pigments and their composition kind of like is different between each other. But it's even more apparent when you do like one brand of watercolor and then you do one brand of gouache. But look at this. Look at how the yellow kind of like branches out. It's like it's crawling out like roots or mycelium. I love it. I love it. Oh, look how it just breaks up there. I love these granular textures. I love these granular root-like textures a lot. I want to see if I can get more of the root-like somehow. I mean, usually I do that manually. I wonder if there's a way I can like make some, I don't know, maybe some data bending or some shit that'll do that to my images. Probably not. I have to look into that. But you got a bunch of this granular texture over here. You can kind of see some of the roots that I like, the mycelium root, the spread. I really, really love this. This is also the only painting where I use blue to such an extent. I do not like the color blue. I fucking hate it because it makes me think of modernity so much. And modernity sucks. It's very oppressive to the soul, I feel. Like it's good and it's bad and it's good and it's bad, and the bad is like it's overwhelming and the good is like being hoarded, being used against you. So it's not nearly as good as it could be. But I can get the granular texture real easy. All that takes is the noise tool. In order for me to get those root looking textures though, I have to do stuff like this. These little tiny miniature mazes, I guess you could call them. Did I do them anywhere else on this? It might just be up there. I need to do them in more spots. So, right now the plan is mazes in the background. That's what I'm going to start working on now. So, new layer. I've got a lot of fucking layers. Alright, before I do that, let me organize these layers real quick. Let me fucking remove my eye patch. Just kidding. Let me become binocular. Eye patches are cool. They make people look cool. What is this? I don't need this anymore. Fit screen. What is this? I don't need this anymore. What's this? Don't need it. What's this? Don't need it. That. Alright. This is the no-go zone. And I can lock that. This is... I know what that is. We'll call it the bulk. What is this? I don't know what this is. So I'm getting rid of it. I'm gonna put all of these in a folder, call that reference, just ref. And these are my I guess, I don't know what to call that, you know, they're like, I'll call them guides, because this is how I can easily just make the lines, or I can easily make the checker pattern, which is how I get this stuff here. I'm not doing that one for one, you know, I'm not doing each individual square in there. I'm just gonna fucking lay down an area and then fucking delete by selecting this. Super easy. So finally we have it all. We have it all in. Oh, jeez. Apologies. Well. Oh, something dry came up. That was weird. That was unpleasant. I need to put on a hat or something. Here's a hat. I have a hat. I don't know where my my artist cap is right now. It's probably over there someplace. Yeah, there it is. I'm not getting up for that. So instead we'll just wear the Indomitable hat for the time being. Maybe I should get a haircut soon. I'm thinking about going back to getting my mullet. Who knows? I'll think about it. Get mullet. Return of Mullet Wizard. It's not a bad idea. Anyway, let's go ahead and give these layers their proper names. Let's select this. Let's go up to 3 here, so that way it's a nice thick square. It's about right. Yeah. Let's go down to 2 actually. That way I can modulate the thickness. Let's mark some border here so I can hide the plans back here. And you know what, that maze is kind of going like straight up. Maybe I should do this at kind of like an angle or something. Yeah, we're gonna do it at that angle for the most part. Mazes kind of serve like a purpose for like making the really large root-like structure that I like in textures. They add a... I don't want to say superficial, but we're gonna call it a superficial level of complexity. We'll take it down like that. It's important to keep the idea of multiple branching pathways as opposed to having just like the one. And then we go down to where's the rest of it? It's in this area, right? For the most part. Yeah. What the fuck is that? Oh, that's a part of the bulk, isn't it? Ah, shit. I might have to like do some things. Might have to like, yeah, all right. So we're going above for a second here. Just that way I know where these are real quick. And we're going to try and get it to kind of change direction a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna modulate that. Let it kind of be a little, you know what? No, we're gonna make this bottom one a little more swirly. So you just go ahead and mark out these areas right here. Hide that so that I can see what the fuck I'm doing. Most of this is going to end up getting hidden anyway, so I'm not terribly worried about too much here. But as it gets over here, it's going to start getting a lot more crooked. I like to kind of think of this in terms of like actual navigation. Like, would this be easily traversed? Would it be hard? I like to try and make it a little more difficult for whatever wanderer is unfortunate enough to come down here. That'll work. That'll do. That'll do. And go ahead and add a little thickness here. I need to be mindful that not all of these walls need to be the same height. Again, just little small things to add complexity. This is something that kind of goes along with a view I have about a lot of modern design that is in games. There's a lot of like over complexity. A little complexity, that's all you need. You don't need things to be super detailed. It doesn't need to go above and beyond, you know? Like, I understand that sometimes these things look fucking absolutely breathtaking. Oh man, look how fucking cool this world looks, how cool this character looks. Look at all the fucking details, dude. Sure. I look at it and I'm like, that's overstimulating. I'm overstimulated right now. I don't know, maybe it's because I like grew up playing Zelda a lot. And Zelda's very simple looking. Maybe that's just me. I don't need to get too detailed with this. In fact, I should probably... Yeah, that's not even going to be visible, so I'm not even going to worry about that. Let me go ahead and just make sure all the areas that I'm not even going to be worrying about are deleted before I waste time on that. In fact, this area right here is probably going to end up disappearing eventually anyway. So, everything else is fine. Like this, I can change up the levels of the wall. Unfortunately, you lose so much of the twists and turns, but hopefully the viewer will understand that the twists and the turns are all implied, and so that they might see like the swirlier pathways in their minds. Maybe. Unlikely, but you know. I can't help but hope that people who look at my artwork kind of use their imagination a little bit. That is like one of my ultimate goals for my art, is that it encourages the viewers to kind of just engage and explore these areas in their minds a little bit. Kind of like how something I like to do to pass the time when I can't really I don't have anything going on creative wise in my head, or I'm at like a creative block, and I can't seem to like sit there and think about what I want to do for any of my projects. Usually I do this when I'm like laying down and trying to get to sleep. I find this very helpful. I play games in my head, so I'll like usually play like Link to the Past in my mind. Naturally, I'm kind of like projecting my will into the game, but you know, that's how it is, you know. So let me see these walls over here. Find the lighter color. That one. We'll start here. These walls. Really interesting. I didn't know that was a part of the bulk there. Is this closed off? Yeah. No, that's not. So there we go. Got some walls going on here officially. For the most part. Let me see what areas I can... Yeah, I think this wall right here. I can do a little bit of this. Really break down the walls. Tear down the wall. Tear down the wall. And then over here on this one. A little difficult to see what I'm doing, but that's alright. Well, that's not closed. Once I get all of this figured out, I can start figuring out the walls for the parts that I can't see. The parts that I had to erase prematurely. Just because I can't see the tops of them doesn't mean I can't see their sides. Somehow I forgot that. These things happen. Alright. Let me see this bulk. Should put a wall there, and why not put one here? God, this is above, not below. All right. So now I go through and I erase all of this. Gotta be careful with what's over here. I don't want to erase too much of this stuff. because this is going to somehow blend in with all of this. In fact, you know what? Let me do this. Yeah. I'll do that again after I like shape these walls up a little more. I don't have to like get too complex because again it's gonna like start looking more like that. So a lot of the like the details is gonna be lost. You're not gonna see any fucking brickwork in there, so I'm not gonna do all of this stuff with the occasional bricks like you see in these walls. I'm not gonna do any of that. What I am going to do, however, start breaking these walls down a little bit, particularly over here. And then have some loose bricks. There we go. Most of that's probably, not all of it. In fact, virtually none of that is going to be hidden. You know, not too much if it is in the no-go zone, and whatever is in the no-go zone, I mean, it's still visible, so that's all that matters. So, we're good. I don't really need to be too perfect with deleting everything out of these areas. Again, it is supposed to look a little glitchy and fucked up, so that much is acceptable. Maybe I should do some, like, yeah. And I think what I'll do, aside from add some light and dark, is maybe incorporate a few, like, little tiny patterns. So let's go ahead and do that. First, I need darker color than what I've got for the walls over here. Perfect. Oh shit, that's all on. Yeah, I'm on the wrong layer over here. Oops. Oh, hold up. There we go. Now it should be a lot easier to tell walls apart. Oops. Still no. That looks about right. Then we go over the other one on the bottom here. Same story. Probably should not have blurred any of it, but it's too little too late. Guess we just have to up the tolerance, that's all. We'll take it up to 36, that should be enough. Oh no. Take it down to 18, still too much. 9, perfect. A lot of these walls are kind of facing the other way, so the darker aspects really don't play here too much. So instead we're just gonna select this color, get a little lighter. That's not really so much a concern over there as it is over here. Nope. There we go. And that should be it. Yeah. So now we get, you know what, we probably can just use the lighter color down here, honestly. That probably makes more sense because it's kind of tucked away. The little tucked away areas probably shouldn't be getting nearly as much light as their counterparts in the non-tucked away areas. Areas on top are getting the most light. Naturally, if I want them to have any sort of texture going on when I put artifacts all over this shit, should have some level of color change down here. Oops. Let's grab that. And let's turn it down to blue. Since it's in a darker area, it should have cooler tones. Let's take this down to 0. Strictly select only these walls. Oh man, that one should actually... There we go. Now we go through. Again, grab this blue. I'll let that stand. A little mistake, I'll let it stay there. It'll be fine. I think it'll work out in the end. Alright. I'm going to play one short dungeon synth track or something to that effect. That should give me enough time to add these little splashes of color. One little album, something short. Let me find something really short here real quick. Or just a single track. What's the, doesn't he have another fucking channel? Second YouTube channel, this one. This is dedicated to just songs. I want something that's like 7 minutes. Yeah. So I'll use this to buy myself some time to get as much of this done as possible. Admittedly, I did a lot of talking and less working. These things happen, you know? I think I'm gonna have like a lot of blue over here. And then all of these areas. Actually, let me keep what I got going so that way I can do it over here too. Try to be as mindful as possible of all the things that I'm doing here. We'll have like a sort of gradient going between blue to green. Take this down here, closer to yellow, closer to gray. Really give it that dynamic. Now select all these darker areas and do the same. Hit the dark spots and then hit the light spots. Maybe you should have this closer to like red all throughout. I know that goes contrary to like the rule of shadows, but yeah, no. In fact, you know what? We can mix a little bit of red and blue together so that way it keeps that purple look. That way it's not too warm up there. The blue pushes it back a lot, which is kind of necessary since it's going to be in the background. Honestly, the smaller the area, the less I should be worried, but you know. We'll do it anyway. Fuck it. I don't need to worry too much about grabbing all that since it's been smudged. Having been smudged. It'll naturally have some interesting qualities when I put artifacts on this shit. Let's go ahead and get this closer to like orangey. Since it's in the light. And then finally we get these walls. Select, select. Let's go ahead and get like a cool green going. Just little tiny slivers, I'm not too worried about those. Alright, I'm gonna do one last thing here, and that is put the artifacts on. Once I do that, then I will go on BRB, JPEG, 0 quality. AK works. I think it's supposed to be in work in progress, right? Unknown? Yep, there it is. The unknown folder, bring this back in. Select this. Select this. Paste. Select this. Invert. I said invert, motherfucker. Delete. And then I can delete this. I can delete. Wait a minute. Oh no, what gone? Yeah, that's what I want to have. Oh, okay. There we go. Now I can delete this and that. Perfect. I'll do the artifacts for the other one later. But that's the background maze area for now. There's probably still some other things I should do. I'll worry about those later. So that's that. Save, and then I'll come back to this in a bit. In a second here. Right. So I will be right back. Play some bully. And then after that I will fuck off for the night.